Hello and congratulations for taking your first step and getting access to this video course that will teach you how to build not only your backlinks by utilizing PDF files and uploading them to high authority sites, but I'm also going to talk about how you can convert that traffic, those prospects that you're going to get to read your PDF and pre-sell them enough to gain their trust and convert them into sales. So by the time they get to your website, you've got targeted traffic. So we're going to have a win-win situation here, and we're going to essentially kill two birds with one stone by achieving these two different things. All right, so this is video number 1, and this is going to be the introduction and a quick overview. So what I want to do right now is talk about the video course as a whole so you understand exactly what you are going to learn, because what I believe is once you're able to learn how things work, how the system works and is put together, you'll be able to implement it a lot faster. All right, so this is video number 1. Video number 2 is going to be about choosing your attack plan. There are many different routes that you can go towards. So as far as trying to create a piece of content and essentially a PDF later on that will convert your prospects into potential sales, you need to have a good attack plan first, right? So I'm going to help you with that in video number 2. Once you have figured out your attack plan in video number 2, we can move on to video number 3, which is creating your content. So now that we have figured out an angle of how we want to approach things, now we can create the content. So once you know that, creating the content is super easy, and I'll show you more in that particular video. And then once we have the content in place, we can spice things up and we can make it look pretty. So I'm going to give you access to certain resources that you can use to do just that. And video number 5, we're going to talk about different types of hyperlinks so that when you're editing your content via Microsoft Word, and this can be compatible with whether you're using a Mac computer or Windows computer, we want to talk about different hyperlinks and the way they work within Microsoft Word. And then after you have finished everything, video number 6, I want to talk about things you need to gather. So besides the PDF, what else do you need to gather? Then in video number 7 and 8, we're going to talk about 2 different PDF conversion softwares. Now, I really want to focus on these 2 because these are 2 that I personally use. I've tested tons and tons of different PDF conversion softwares out there over the past many years. But I've came to the conclusion that I found 2 that are really good. They definitely take the headaches out, because when you convert a normal Microsoft Word document to a PDF, utilizing a lot of the free PDF converter tools out there, they don't really convert the hyperlinks. So you could either dish out money to buy the $400 Adobe Acrobat Pro, or you can spend a lot less, about 10 times less, for these software tools. So I'm going to talk about basic conversion factors as far as basic hyperlinks go. Now, if you want to take things further and you want to, say, for example, hyperlink an image, a hotspot, you want to maybe hyperlink a specific area, then you will need to have a more advanced piece of software. And I'll talk more about that in video number 8. But keep in mind that we are focusing on a lot of these softwares that are not going to break the bank for you. So in other words, they're not definitely $400, $300, or even $200 or even $100. So they're a lot cheaper than that. And of course, last but not least, we have video number 9, and we'll talk about how to upload your PDF files to the right sites and how to generate backlinks from high authority websites. Now, before we end this video, I want to talk about mindset, because I feel like that is a crucial thing before you can actually jump right in. I know you're excited, but before we do that, I want to say that the whole goal of this system and this video course and this blueprint is this is not just pure SEO. Our goal here is a long-term strategy to provide good, high-quality content that essentially will get you backlinks. Now, if you know anything about the search engines, Google, Yahoo, they obviously are catering to the person who is searching. They're not catering to the advertisers. So with that said, they want to make sure that whatever the experience is for that prospect, for that visitor who is typing in the keyword, looking for things, is good. So this is a long-term strategies, and I've been doing this for over decades. And what I've seen is a lot of backlinking strategies come and go. But this one is likely not to come and go. It's more likely to be a long-term strategy because this has been going on for a decade. So I'm going to show you something that is a long-term view, but it's not pure SEO. It's conversion SEO. So the question is not just how can we get backlinks, but how can you convert your traffic and rank at the same time? So our goal is not just to get traffic, but get the traffic, get the prospect, get the visitor to read your PDF file. They like your PDF file, they trust you, and then they seek you out. That kind of customer is a lot more powerful because they're more likely to buy a lot of your products and services because they like your content. So before we get started, I want to talk about the things that you need. You need to figure out what are you selling. And I'll talk more about that in video number 2 when we talk about the attack plans. And then I want to make sure that you have links to your websites and they are ready. It's okay if you don't have them now, but it's just something that you need to think about and you need to have in hand. Then, of course, you need to have access to software. And I'll elaborate further when we get to that point. But I just want to make sure that you are aware that unfortunately you cannot achieve the hyperlinking process with a lot of the PDF conversion tools that are free. A lot of them will do things like add watermarks to your PDFs, and you don't want that. You want to have your own brand on your PDF. Now, we are going to be using 2 pieces of software. One is called CutePDF Professional, and I've been using that for a long time, well over about a decade, and they've been around from a long time. Or you can also use WinZip. WinZip is great, but it's pretty basic, and it's a win-win situation because you can also zip files up. You can actually do a lot more than just zipping files, believe it or not. So with that said, those are the things that you need. Other than that, you don't really need anything else. You don't need to invest any more money. And you definitely don't need the $400 or $450 Adobe Acrobat Pro software, which you can do a lot with, but you don't really need to dish out a lot of money. What I found over the years, and we've tested a lot of PDF conversion tools, is that a lot of them are actually more expensive than WinZip or CutePDF Professional combined. So I'm showing you the best of the best, in my opinion, and of course, the ones that we have tested that will not break your wallet or break the bank. All right, so with that said, let's move on to video number 2, and we'll talk about creating your attack plan. Hello and welcome back. This is video number 2, and in this particular video, I'm going to help you choose your attack plan. Once you have chosen your attack plan, everything else is going to be easy as far as creating the right content that is angled towards a specific prospect. Our goal is not just to get backlinks, as I stated earlier, but also to get as many conversions, as many people buying your product or service, or as many people signing up on your list or taking whatever action that you're trying to get them to take. All right. So first things first, what you need to do is you need to figure out, what are you selling? There are two different avenues here. Are you selling your own product or service, meaning you're trying to generate leads for yourself, you're trying to build a list for yourself, or are you trying to brand yourself, or are you trying to sell your product or service? If you're trying to sell your own product or service, or you're marketing your own product or service, then the content that you want to angle it towards will be in a different way. You'll be utilizing your own brand, your own experience, perhaps your own case studies and things like that. Now, the flip side of it is you're selling somebody else's product or service. This can be affiliate marketing. This could be maybe you're promoting their product as in taking a specific cut out of their business. I don't know, but only you know your direction better. So I want you to pick and choose, because I'm going to hone in on number one, your own product or service, or number two, somebody else's products or service. So we have affiliate marketing and we have cost per action, which means that people get paid for sending leads. So for example, you could get paid for every time somebody fills out a form or takes a specific action. The next thing you need to figure out is, who is your audience? The worst case scenario that a lot of people take is they figure out, okay, this is what I'm selling, and I'm just going to go ahead and write some content. Wrong. That's the worst case scenario. What you want to do is you want to figure out who your audience is. And what I mean by that is actually, who is the demographics? And what do they look like? What do they like? What do they dislike? What frustrates them? And what are their problems? So to do that, what we want to do is we want to go to a website called quantcast.com, as you can see here, and we want to find some high authority competitors. The second thing we want to do is go to alexa.com. We want to copy and paste those high authority competitors into alexa.com, and alexa.com will give us access to some demographics. At that point, we're going to go use another free tool, and all these tools are free. We want to go to Facebook Ad Insights, and that tool is run by Facebook Ads. It allows you to see the full demographics, the likes, the dislikes, the overall spectrum of that particular audience, and what they like as far as pages, how they engage with that niche, and a lot more information. So without talking about it too much, I'm going to go straight to the sites, and I'm going to quickly go through them fairly quick. So you can see that this is a process that you need to take, but this is also a process that should not take a lot of time. All right, so let's go ahead and do that right now. Okay, so this is going to be a quick and easy exercise. All you need to do is go to quantcast.com. That's quantcast.com, as you can see here. If you want to follow along and pause this video, go ahead and do so now. Or if you want to wait till the end of the video and then apply it, that's fine. As long as you're taking some sort of action that is going to be moving you closer to success. Now, what we need to do is when we get to quantcast.com is click on Explore. And the whole goal of this specific step number one is to figure out a high authority domain name that is getting a lot of traffic already, because at that point, they have gathered enough data that you can use. So looking at a competitor that has already been established and then applying that to you is the easiest way to figure out who your demographics is. So who painting a picture of who your person, your audience looks like, essentially. That's what we're trying to do. So let's say, for example, we type in dog, and then of course, what I recommend that you do is go to the website that you see here and make sure that it actually fits what you are trying to sell, or at least it is somewhat similar. If you're unable to find any results with Quantcast.com, another avenue that you can take is by going to Google.com, typing in the same keyword, and looking at the very top, look at the competitors that are paying for ads. Now, you don't necessarily have to click these, but what I recommend is just head on over to Dogster.com and just make sure that this is the site that is similar to what you might be trying to sell. So if we go over here, let's just take a quick look. So we can see right off the bat, it seems to be a high authority content marketing based site with tons and tons of content about dogs and other animals. Now, if we go through here and we find that, okay, it's great, this is the site that matches what we're trying to do. If it doesn't, then of course you'll need to find another site. But if it does, then you can move on to step number 2, which is simply going to Alexa.com, entering the site here, click on find, and then of course scrolling all the way to the very bottom. And as you can see, that reveals to us who visits Dogster.com. That's what we're interested in, because that is who the audience that we are going to speak to. Now, Alexa.com is going to give you only a partial amount of data because this is the free version. There is a paid version, but I don't recommend going down that route because you really don't need it if you follow my steps in step number 3. So we can see that the majority of it is about female. It looks like about 90-95% female and about 5% male, or maybe for a very, very little percentage of male. Then we can see that these females have at least college or graduate school, and they surf primarily at home. Now, that's all the data that we need right now, because we can always use the next step, which is Facebook ad audience insights. To get to this particular page, you have to go to www.facebook.com/ads, ADS with an S, /audience-insights. If you go to this specific URL, it's going to give you 2 options, and let's just go ahead and do that right now. The first option is to look at everybody on Facebook, and that's what I recommend that you do, unless you have a Facebook page that has been established and that has a good amount of fans. If that is the case, click on this and you'll get the exact demographic data of your page. Now, I'm going to go ahead and click on everyone on Facebook because that's what I'm interested in. And as you can see, you can specify country if you want to and age if you know that off the bat. But I'm going to leave all that blank. I'm just interested in the interest. Now, if you get a big enough website, sometimes you can type in Dogster, and as you can see, it shows Dogster website and Dogster magazine. That's why I try to go for high authority and really big established companies. Now, you could type in dog and you could look at it and make sure you get the right thing. And you can see Snoop Dogg is on here, so that's obviously wrong. So that's a person and a celebrity. Now, I'm going to go back to Dogster website. And really what we're trying to do is figure out, does it match up with Alexa? So we saw that it was a good amount of women, so 95% women and 5% men, as you can see here. And then as far as the age group goes, it's about 45 to about 65 plus that are interested in Dogster.com. And those people are most likely going to be our audience as well. Now we can see out of the 5% men, it's about the same age, so they're likely married to these women. Now, if we scroll down, we can see other things like lifestyle. We can see relationship. Most of them are married. We can see college. We can see job title. But we can stop at this point. We don't really need to go further, because in the next video, I'm going to dive deeper into this so that we can figure out different content angles. Because whether you're selling an affiliate product or your own product or service, it doesn't matter. Really, at the end of the day, we just got to figure out the audience demographics. Once we figure that out, everything else is going to be really, really easy, and it's going to fall into place, as you can see in the next video. So I'll see you in video number 3.